A ghost walks into a bar. The bartender says, "Sorry, we don't serve spirits." The story begins with LAPD detectives Martin Riggs and Roger Murtaugh chasing a red BMW suspected of being involved in a drug bust. Their fellow officers and chief back at the station are betting on the outcome of the chase. During the pursuit, Murtaugh, driving his wife's station wagon, opts for caution, much to Riggs' impatience, especially in a narrow tunnel. As they continue, another car, blue this time and carrying more criminals, joins the chase, communicating in an unfamiliar language. Murtaugh jokes that they might be Japanese, teasingly suggesting they've bought the LAPD along with everything else. During the chase, a man from the blue car shoots at Murtaugh's station wagon, damaging the windshield. Riggs kicks out the broken glass to clear their view. A police car swerves to avoid a collision and hits a camper's propane tank, causing an explosion. The criminals split up, with Murtaugh and Riggs following the red car. However, they get stuck in traffic, and Riggs decides to pursue on foot. Riggs weaves through the stopped cars and catches up to the red BMW. He humorously asks for the driver's license and insurance, but falls off when the car accelerates. The driver briefly stops, fires shots at Riggs, who returns fire before the red car speeds away again. After Riggs resumes chasing the BMW on foot, Murtaugh catches up and urges him to get in the car. Riggs insists on driving and squeezes past Murtaugh to take the wheel. Despite Murtaugh's warning about avoiding damage, Riggs drives onto the curb during a traffic jam, scraping the car's side. He jokes about Murtaugh's prediction coming true. At a busy intersection, the blue car crashes, and its occupants start shooting at the police. A helicopter arrives, and the shooters escape in it. Meanwhile, Riggs and Murtaugh continue pursuing the BMW, which crashes into a store and flips over. They're briefly delayed by another police car, but soon reach the crashed BMW. Riggs plans to approach the car together, but Murtaugh gets stuck trying to exit their car. When they investigate the crashed BMW, they find the driver missing. Suspecting he might be in the trunk, Riggs kicks it open, and a load of South African crugerand spills out. Captain Murphy expresses anger over the costly damages caused by the chases and crashes, emphasizing the operation was supposed to be a routine drug arrest. Murtaugh makes a light-hearted joke about paying for the damages with crugerands, to which the captain responds seriously. During a bet among detectives on whether Riggs can escape from a straitjacket in under 5 minutes, Riggs surprises everyone by dislocating his shoulder to break free. He earns disapproval from the police psychiatrist, whom he mocks as Mrs. Sigmund Fraud. Riggs explains he did it for the money since no one else volunteered. Despite winning the bet and receiving a gold crugerand, Murtaugh intervenes, declaring the coin as evidence. Later, Murtaugh confides in Riggs about his daughter Rianne's upcoming commercial, but he wanted to keep it quiet. Riggs, however, shares the news with the other detectives, leaving Murtaugh worried about potential teasing if Rianne's performance doesn't go well. As they leave for the day, they find Murtaugh's car severely damaged, resembling a vehicle from a demolition derby. At Murtaugh's house, he shows Riggs his new garage and hobby room, part of his retirement plan at 52. When the carpenter McKee uses a nail gun, Murtaugh and Riggs get startled, drawing their guns on him, which McKee doesn't appreciate. Inside, Trish gathers the family to watch Rianne's commercial on TV. In the ad, Rianne kisses a guy on the beach for Rams's condoms. Upset by the ad, Murtaugh sends everyone away. The carpenter praises the ad, but Murtaugh doesn't like it and sends him off. Worried about teasing at work, Murtaugh steps out to clear his mind, prompting Riggs to start teasing him. In his office, Arjen Rudd is upset with his associate Hans for losing $1 million in gold crugerands. Pretending to discuss painting, Rudd orders Hans onto a plastic sheet. After a brief conversation, another associate, Pieter Vorstedt, shoots Hans dead. As Vorstedt wraps the body in plastic, Rudd complains about police interference and gives Pieter a file on Detective Roger Murtaugh, hinting that Murtaugh should be targeted next. While making chili at the Murtaughs, Riggs has a moment alone with Trish, who found a gold pen in his laundry. He shares that the pen is a reminder of the night he lost Vicky, his wife. Riggs reveals that he missed dinner with Vicky, leading her to drive alone and die in a car accident. He used that pen to sign her identification form at the morgue. Riggs returns to his beachside trailer where he and his dog, Sam, watch the Three Stooges. Meanwhile, 4 masked men, including Pieter, break into the Murtaugh's house, tying up Roger and Trish and warning them to drop the cruiser in case or face harm to their family. After the intruders leave, the Murtaugh children free their parents. The next day, Roger informs Riggs about the break-in and mentions he's sent his family to stay with relatives for safety. They suspect the attackers are South Africans, given their accents, and see their racist actions as reflecting the apartheid regime's racial discrimination in South Africa. After the attack at his home, Captain Murphy gives Murtaugh a less stressful job, guarding a key witness in a drug case, Leo Getz, for a few days until federal agents take over. Despite Murtaugh and Riggs calling it a bad assignment, Murphy doesn't care about their opinion. Riggs and Murtaugh meet their witness Leo Getz at a hotel, acting dismissively towards him despite Leo's resilient attitude. They take the larger room, leaving Leo the smaller one. During this, they encounter an assassin disguised as a waiter attempting to kill Leo. A struggle ensues, and Riggs tackles the assassin and Leo out of a 6th-floor window, landing in the hotel's swimming pool, thwarting the assassination attempt. The assassin gets away when Riggs accidentally hits Leo, mistaking him for the hitman. After exiting the pool, Riggs and Murtaugh ask Leo why someone wants him dead. Leo reveals he laundered $500 million in drug money, shocking both detectives. At Roger's house, an enthusiastic Leo details his money laundering scheme, frequently saying, "Okay," he got in trouble for skimming profits, which his clients discovered. Although Riggs and Murtaugh press for names, Leo admits he only dealt with couriers, not knowing their names or the drug dealers directly. He does recall being taken to a stilt house and hearing the name Hans. Leo recalls the house on stilts had an address with 4 numbers, including 9 and the year he finished accounting school. Using this, they narrow it down to 2 numbers and about 6 streets. The 9th house they check is the right one. Riggs, pretending to be a pool cleaner despite no pool being present, quickly overpowers 2 men before more emerge, shooting. The man from the house who tried to kill Leo at the hotel steals a tow truck. Riggs chases him, climbing from the towed car to fight the driver. Murtaugh and Leo follow in the station wagon. In a high-speed chase, Riggs drops his gun and nearly falls off the tow truck. Leo retrieves the gun while Riggs, after losing balance, hangs onto the bumper winch. A sudden stop by the truck throws Riggs onto the road. Murtaugh can't stop in time, hitting the towed car, which crashes into an oncoming pickup. A surfboard from the pickup flies into the tow truck's windshield, killing the driver instantly. At the stilt house, Riggs, Murtaugh, and their team find men moving boxes. They order them to stop, but Rudd and Pieter, claiming the house as South African territory due to Rudd's diplomatic status, demand the police leave. Rudd shows documentation to prove it. When Riggs asks for Pieter's name and doesn't catch it, he jokingly says he'll call him Adolf instead. Rudd claims he and his team are protected from U.S. laws by diplomatic immunity, meaning they can't be questioned or arrested. Riggs insults Rudd, who warns that any action against them will involve the U.S. Department of State, challenging Riggs. When Murtaugh tells Riggs to stay calm, Vorstedt reacts as if he recognizes Riggs' name. Rika van den Haas, Rudd's secretary, arrives and accidentally bumps heads with Riggs while picking up a dropped briefcase. They're instantly attracted to each other and start flirting. Later, Riggs and Murtaugh explain to Captain Murphy their theory that Rudd's group is involved in a modern triangle trade of drugs, dollars, and crugerins, but Murphy is upset about having to apologize to Rudd for diplomatic interference. He's even more annoyed when he meets Leo, who has been involved in the investigation with Riggs and Murtaugh. Murtaugh finds a condom tree on his desk, causing him to groan initially, but then he laughs along with everyone else in the room. Rudd takes Rika home and tries to charm her, explaining the tensions between South African whites and black police in Los Angeles. He decides to move their cash in one big shipment due to escalating police pressure. Riggs starts harassing Rudd by following him everywhere, including joining protests against apartheid to ensure Rudd sees him. Returning home, Riggs finds Leo cleaning up, as per Murtaugh's decision. Riggs tells Leo to leave, then rushes to Roger's home when he's informed Roger hasn't been heard from since last night. Riggs bursts in with his gun drawn, while Leo heads to cover the back door. Riggs finds Murtaugh on the toilet, sweating and unable to move due to finding a threatening message on his toilet paper roll. Riggs discovers a bomb behind the toilet and convinces Murtaugh they need to call the bomb squad. Despite Murtaugh's request to keep it quiet, the fire department and reporters arrive, causing a commotion. The police psychiatrist leaves after seeing Murtaugh in his predicament, while Leo intercepts her to discuss a disturbing dream. Jarvis from the bomb squad instructs Murtaugh to get into the bathtub for safety, while his team uses liquid nitrogen to delay the explosion. Riggs refuses to leave Murtaugh, noting his numb legs. Alone in the bathroom, Riggs and Murtaugh share a silent moment, acknowledging their bond amidst the danger. Murtaugh tries to lighten the mood with a joke about the bomb's placement. They decide to pull the bomb blanket over themselves after counting to 3. Following a massive explosion, they emerge unharmed, except for ringing ears. The next day, Leo pretends to be Mr. Jones and asks for help at the South African consulate office to stop his friend Alphonse from going to South Africa. Murtaugh, posing as Alphonse, joins in, railing against apartheid. While the consulate employee is distracted, Riggs sneaks into Rudd's office and grabs a paper. When Rudd and his men enter, Riggs confronts them, threatening to send them home if they don't leave the U.S. Rudd insults Riggs as a Kaffir lover. In a tense moment, Riggs shoots the glass of an aquarium, causing chaos as the men rush to save Rudd's fish. Riggs mockingly salutes them before leaving. He encounters Rika on his way out and casually explains he was just chatting with her boss. Later, Riggs is picked up by Roger and Leo, who share their amusing experience at the consulate. Riggs shows Roger a paper he found in Rudd's office with the words Albevarden, Thursday written on it. Though familiar, Roger can't recall where he heard the name Albevarden before. As they drive in the damaged car, Leo suggests stopping at a deli for food. Ignoring warnings, he exits the car and the door is torn off by another vehicle. Rudd notices a missing sheet from his pad and decides to take stronger actions against the police. Riggs follows Rika to a grocery store and demands she have dinner with him. Reluctantly, she agrees after he causes a scene. Back at his trailer, Rika notices Riggs' wedding ring. He mentions his past marriage but doesn't elaborate. Rika expresses dislike for her boss Rudd, hoping he faces consequences for his actions. As Riggs and Rika begin their evening together, Pieter Vorstedt and his men retaliate against the police, killing officers in different attacks. Riggs and Rika enjoy their time together, evicting Riggs' dog Sam and spending hours together. Roger misses his poker game because he's with Leo, working on his taxes. While reviewing receipts, Roger remembers Albevarden from a family video of his birthday party on his fishing boat, realizing it's the name of a cargo ship. Roger hurries home, confirming his memory from a video. Meanwhile, Rudd's men take Leo and Roger's car. Inside, Roger fights off 2 attackers, using a nail gun and a nail to kill one and shooting the other. He then realizes Leo and the car are missing. Riggs and Rika's intimate moment is interrupted by Sam's barking. Sensing danger, Riggs orders Rika to get dressed as helicopters approach. Gunfire erupts, and Riggs tells Rika to take cover as their trailer is shot at. Riggs and Rika flee through the doggy door, and Riggs directs Rika to his truck during a pause in the shooting. When men from a helicopter continue firing, Riggs cleverly uses one shooter to take out another, then eliminates the remaining threats, including the pilot. He and Rika escape in his truck. In the truck, Rika demands answers about the attackers, but Riggs is uncertain. He changes the subject, asking about her plans for Saturday before speeding away. They pause to let Sam catch up, then engage in a firefight with the second helicopter, forcing it to retreat. Riggs drops Rika off at her apartment and plans to return later. But as he prepares to leave, Pieter ambushes and knocks him out. Meanwhile, 2 men enter Rika's apartment to grab her. When Riggs wakes up, he finds himself bound and facing Vorstedt on a pier. Vorstedt reveals that years ago, he was hired to kill Riggs, but mistakenly killed Riggs' wife Vicky instead. Enraged, Riggs breaks free and confronts Vorstedt. Vorstedt throws him into the water, where Riggs dislocates his shoulder to free himself. As Riggs resurfaces, he finds Rika's lifeless body. He climbs out of the water, ambushes Vorstedt's men, and retrieves Rika's body. Grieving, he carries her to the beach as Sam watches silently. Riggs calls Roger, informing him that both Rika and Leo have been killed. He declares that he's no longer acting as a cop and intends to take matters into his own hands by going after Rudd and Vorstedt. Despite Roger's attempts to dissuade him, Riggs is determined. Roger joins Riggs near the house on stilts. Meanwhile, Leo is held captive inside the house, enduring a beating but refusing to divulge any information about the stolen money. As Roger intercepts Riggs, he tries to reason with him, but Riggs is resolute. Riggs shares his plan with Roger, instructing him to wait for a signal and then charge in. When Roger mentions Leo's presence, Riggs urges him to be cautious. Roger asks about the signal, to which Riggs cryptically responds that he'll know when it happens. Riggs ties a steel cable to his truck and a support stilt of the house, repeatedly jerking the truck forward to weaken the structure. Inside, the occupants mistake the shaking for an earthquake until they see Riggs. Pieter shoots at Riggs as he exits the house. Roger shoots 2 assailants from outside, then rescues Leo just before the house collapses. Riggs celebrates as he reunites with Roger and Leo, but they realize Pieter has escaped. Leo is instructed to return to the police station to await the federal marshal, cheered by the prospect of using the siren on the way. Before leaving, he shares hugs with both Roger and Riggs. Murtaugh and Riggs find the Alba Varden at the docks, set to sail for South Africa. They ambush 3 men by a container and seize their weapons, then break in. Inside, they discover Rudd's Mercedes and heaps of cash in various denominations. Murtaugh considers taking some cash for his kids' education, but decides against it. Suddenly, the container is sealed with them inside. Rudd orders them loaded onto the ship. Riggs devises a plan. When the container hangs over the ship, they release the Mercedes and cash, causing chaos. As the car explodes, Rudd orders their death. Riggs and Murtaugh rappel down onto the ship's deck as Rudd's men open fire. Riggs takes out 2 attackers on his way down while Murtaugh follows. Riggs continues to shoot down more men, fueled by thoughts of Vicky and Rika. Murtaugh joins the fight, shooting one of the attackers. Meanwhile, Riggs faces off against Pieter, who throws a knife into Riggs' leg and then attacks him with powerful kicks. Despite the pain, Riggs fights back, eventually driving the knife into Pieter's chest. As Pieter reaches for a pistol, Riggs activates the container hoist, dropping it on Pieter, crushing him. With Pieter defeated, Riggs walks away with a smile, leaving the chaos behind. Murtaugh spots Riggs on an upper deck, but Rudd suddenly appears and shoots Riggs multiple times. Murtaugh calls out to Rudd, who claims diplomatic immunity, but Murtaugh shoots him, declaring it's just been revoked. Murtaugh rushes to Riggs, who surprisingly moves and asks for his cigarettes to be thrown away, joking that they'll kill him. Murtaugh reassures Riggs that the bad guys are taken care of. As sirens approach, Riggs jokes with Murtaugh, calling him a beautiful man and asking for a kiss before the police arrive. The 2 friends share a laugh as the story ends. If you enjoyed this video, don't be shy to hit the like button, and if you disliked it, hit the dislike button twice, just to be sure. It would be best if you watched the whole movie. Thank you very much for watching. Please subscribe for more videos like this.